Dolphins vs. Bills wildcard weekend preview. The video I was hoping to make going into the season is finally here. But if you told me that Skylar Thompson, the third stringer, would be starting for us in the playoffs, I probably just wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. And speaking of third stringers, let's get into this injury report, which is extra long this week. 3 players already ruled out for the Dolphins: Tua, Raheem Mostert, and Liam Eichenberg. Raheem Mostert's going to be probably the biggest loss out of those guys. Well, not out of those guys. Tua is, but Raheem Mostert's going to be a huge loss. Dolphins vs. Bills wildcard weekend preview. The video I was hoping to make going into the season is finally here. With not many expectations, though, unfortunately. If you told me that our third stringer, Skylar Thompson, would be starting for us in the playoffs, I probably just wouldn't have believed you, but here we are. 3 players already ruled out for the Dolphins getting into this injury report: Tua, Raheem Mostert, and Liam Eichenberg. Raheem Mostert's going to be a huge loss for the Dolphins. 100 yards only in the first quarter up in Buffalo just a couple weeks ago. So that's going to be probably the game breaker for the Dolphins in this one. 7 players questionable: Brandon Shell, Terron Armstead. So our 2 starting tackles, that's a great sign. Teddy Bridgewater, Bradley Chubb, Alec Ingold, Kendall Lamb, and Cedric Wilson. I don't think Kendall Lamb's going to play, so there goes our guy to replace Terron Armstead. Cedric Wilson doesn't even matter at this point. But Teddy, Chubb, and Ingold, I do think are all going to play, which is, at least they're playing. And also in other news, the Dolphins did elevate a running back and another offensive line for this game, so that probably means Terron Armstead's going to be out, but who cares at this point? 2 players are questionable for the Bills. Great to be them: Isaiah McKenzie and Jordan Phillips. Great day to be a Bills fan. Probably tomorrow as well, but I'm going to obviously root for the Dolphins. Like I said, not many expectations, unfortunately. Going into the season, I would think that we would have at least a small chance, but, Skylar Thompson is going to be the guy that decides the Dolphins' destiny, and the Bills are probably the Super Bowl favorite going into this weekend, so that is, something to give yourself motivation, I guess, but, Dolphins versus Bills. I'm looking forward to the game because it's obviously the first playoff game in 7 years or so. But Tua is still another, I'm just going to mention this right now. Tua has not even progressed in the concussion protocol. So even if we do somehow, some way win this game, Tua probably wouldn't even be ready to play next week against the Chiefs. But we should probably just focus on this game right now. The run game is probably going to be the most important aspect of this game, and of course our running back one is going to be out, so that is going to be a huge loss for us. Jeff Wilson, Salvon Ahmed are going to be the guys that probably determine this game, but there's not many things to say in this video. I'm hyped for the playoffs, and I'm excited for the game. The Chargers are winning right now as we speak, 24-0 before halftime. Trevor Lawrence has 4 picks, so there's a lot of people saying that they would take Trevor Lawrence over Tua, but I don't really know about this game. I think Tua would. We saw Tua play in Buffalo a couple weeks ago, and he played lights out, and the defense let us down, letting up a game-winning field goal at the end of the game. But Tua played great in the cold. It was a great sign to see. And if Tua was playing in this game, I don't care about all the other injuries. If just Tua played in this game, we would at least have a chance. Now, I'm not saying we would have won, because we probably would have lost, considering, it would have been Tua's debut in the playoffs, but I think we would have had a chance. But here we are now with Skylar Thompson, the third stringer. He just didn't play well last week, and I know that the Jets have one of the top defenses in the NFL. He did play well against the Vikings in Week 6 when he actually got the start before he got injured, and Teddy had to come in. Didn't play well in the Jets game the week before, but he wasn't expecting to play in that game at all. But he's going to have the week prep for this one. He did play Kansas State in college, so he's played in those cold games. He did play the game against the Patriots a couple weeks ago, so he played in Foxborough in the cold. It's going to be 29 degrees at kickoff, and I'll be watching from home this time. I won't be up in Buffalo because that is not something I'm going to go up and want to see. But Terron Armstead, I'm pretty sure, has only played in games that Tua has played in, so, I'm not going to, I don't think Terron Armstead's going to play. We're going to be so many injuries this season. That is what's ruining our season. I don't even know what to talk about in this preview. I don't have many high hopes. My prediction usually is for the Dolphins to win. I just don't have any. I don't see a way the Dolphins can win this game. If they can come out strong, sure, maybe they can have a chance. I'll get into the 5 things the Dolphins need to do. It's only 3 things this time because I don't think there's many things the Dolphins can do to win this game. Number one is to rely on the run game, like I said. Salvin Ahmed and Jeff Wilson are probably going to be the guys who determine this game. Even Skylar Thompson, if he decides to run out for a bit. Chargers are now up 27-0, by the way. Number 2 is if the defense shows up, and I put after that in parentheses, maybe with the question mark, because there's a really good chance that the defense doesn't show up. The game hasn't even started, and Josh Allen has already thrown for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I hated to be the one to say it, but someone had to do it. The defense has struggled. Sure, we played well last week. The home field defense is a thing. The defense definitely wasn't the reason why we lost against the Packers. That was on Tua, but of course we knew he was concussed in that game. But at home, the defense shows up, but on the road, we have the worst defense in the NFL, and that may be an exaggeration somehow. But number 3 is to shock the world. Nobody expects us to win. I haven't seen one single prediction other than, even from the Dolphins fans, nobody expects us to win. I don't expect us to win. If we win, my sincere apologies go to the entire Dolphins organization, but I'm sorry, I don't see us winning tomorrow. Shock the world, please. I would love a win. Obviously going to be rooting the Dolphins off for the whole entire game, but the Bills are just on a whole nother level with all the injuries we're having. The Bills are getting healthier day by day by day. We're just getting more injury prone day by day by day, and I just do not see us winning this game. Obviously going to be hoping we do and pull off a miracle. And if that's so, your boys are probably going to be going to Kansas City. But either way, that'll wrap up. The Dolphins are back in the playoffs. Hopefully we can pull off a miracle tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow evening or something for the review. Hopefully the title is something with a miracle in it. But if not, then, it's kind of just what we all expected either way. That'll wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace.